Hell yeah, sur la Web Rock Station, on Vinylestimes, Classic Rock Radio, en direct avec nous ce soir. Depuis l'Allemagne, une légende du heavy metal, Mr. Rock and Wolf. Dear Wolf, nice to meet you. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm fine. Nice to meet you too.
Yes, welcome tonight on 213 Rock, Web Rock Station, Vinylestimes Classic Rock Radio. As you know, we are located in Paris, France, and thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy for talking to you on air tonight, Rob.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, ship ahoy! Free master off to starboard bow! Man on the cannons! Fire!
Yeah, right.
Hey, Wolf, we all grew up with your music, as you know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a great honor to speak to you tonight because you have a very long career in heavy metal music.
Yeah, that's true. I'm getting old.
Of course. Alors oui, en direct avec nous ce soir, donc Rock and Rolf qui vient nous présenter l'album Blood on Blood. Et il a une très longue carrière qui démarre autour des albums, notamment Gates of Purgatory pour les purs fans qui connaissent depuis 1984, Brandon and Exalted, Under Jolly Roger, Port Royal, Death for Glory, Blazon Stone, Peel of Schools, Black and Hind, etc., Masquerade, Revelry, Victory. Et il y en a un paquet d'albums jusqu'au dernier notamment. Et beaucoup sont des légendes, notamment en termes de heavy metal, tous connaissent exactement, au moins chaque fan de heavy metal a chez lui possède un album de Running Wild. C'est tellement que c'est énorme et c'est aussi une grande légende. And tonight you are here to tell us about Running Wild's new album Blood on Blood, which will be released in a few days, October 29 via Steamhammer SPV in a few days. I think you must be very happy, Rolf.
Yeah, it was a long turn, because I started out with the writing process in 2016. There were a lot of breaks in between that, because I got some illnesses I was suffering from. There were some shows we played in 2017. I had to take a break for the festivals and the shows in Moscow and St. Petersburg we did. And in 2018 we played in Wacken, so there was another break. So there were a lot of breaks in that 5 years since the last album, I would say.
Effectivement, un sac des années, ils ont été très occupés, mis à part la pandémie, bien évidemment. 2016, 2017, des tournées. 2018, le show au Wacken, énorme show au Wacken. Oui, effectivement, il est très heureux, très occupé aussi en même temps. Et il en a profité durant cette pandémie pour nous proposer un nouvel album, Blood on Blood. En voici les détails. Rolf, a new album of Running Wild is always an event in this world of heavy metal. You said in the media that you used this time to work during the pandemic on every little detail of all the new track.
Yeah, because I at the time, because originally it was planned to play some shows in 2020, and then they were pushed over to 21, and now they're pushed over to 22. Like the Hellfest was one of them, and so I took the time just to work on the album, to work out the details. And when I was pretty much about finished, it was about a week when I should hand over the tape to the record company. They called me up and said they want to push the album 2 months away, to bring it out later because of several reasons. And so I had 2 months more with the record. It was pretty much 98% done, and all these small details, the last percent of the quality of the songs, I really could get them out, I really could work it out.
Effectivement, juste un petit peu avant la pandémie, la maison 10 lui réclamait un album, demandait un album. La pandémie donc ils lui ont donné 2 mois, la pandémie est arrivée, ça a donné 2 ans, quoi. Donc en fait, il a eu tout le temps nécessaire pour bien détailler, pour bien peaufiner cet album dont il en est vraiment fier. And I find this statement during one of your very old interview. I find this statement very important because you said you all album like Under Jolly Roger, Port Royal, Death or Reality or Blazon Stone. You said this album is better than all you did, all you recorded.
Yeah, because when I started out first with the title track, I wrote that while I was still working on the final mix of Repertory. Mm-hmm. I figured out that, that album would be very special because I'd written the song in a few minutes, so to speak, half an hour or something like that. And so I knew it was special. And the next song came up, there was Say Your Prayers, which was completely different. And the next song was Wild Wild Nights, which was completely different. So I knew that this album would be special, get a more wider range of different styles and facets on the album than I ever had before. And when I worked on the production, I figured out that the production would be way better than all the production beforehand. And so today it turned out, this is the best production Running Wild ever had. And so I think, it's a big step for Running Wild, It's pretty much up to the fans if they would like it better than the other albums or not. This is not the point. The point is this is the step ahead.
Effectivement, hein, cet album, il a eu largement le temps de le faire, de réfléchir, de détailler, surtout dans la production. Hein, c'est le meilleur album de Running Wild en termes de production. Il a tout pensé. Il a pensé vraiment à tout. Hein, c'est vraiment au-dessus de Under Jolly Roger. Il pense de Port Royal, Death for Glory, Blazonstone et tout, de plus grand que les classiques. En tout cas, ce nouvel album, il tue. Il y a de très très bons titres. Il y a des titres, ça varie entre 5, 6, 7 minutes, etc. Il y a des bons singles et notamment, et ce qui est de plus important, c'est que chaque titre est assez différent, quoi. And Blood on Blood, your new album, each of the 10 tracks sound exactly as you imagined when you wrote and recorded them.
Yeah, it was totally different inspirations when I did the records, when I did the songs, when I was writing on them. And that's why they are also different. And they all have been written in different times, through this last 5 years. Mm-hmm. There were some more songs in the pool, but these 10 songs made it in the end, on the album. Because all the songs added on some new effects for the album, facets and new styles to the album, which the other 9 songs couldn't. So any song has its part in that record.
Effectivement, les 10 titres, chaque titre a une âme, chaque titre a sa propre partie notamment, c'est sa propre part comme il le dit, et ça c'est important. Donc chaque titre était différent, a été étudié, donc il les a littéralement peaufinés, quoi. Voilà, c'est le terme qu'il faut pour vous proposer le meilleur vraiment, quoi. And on the last August, you released the first single, Diamond and Pearls, from the new album. Yeah, this single on YouTube has been seen more than 225,000 times. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of new fans out there. We figured out when we played all the shows, there's pretty much kids. There's a lot of kids that are really into Running Wild, and this is really funny for such an old band. But it's pretty much like Kiss and AC/DC. If you have the next generation, we saw that also when we played in Russia. There was the next generation there, and it's really great to see that. So that makes rock and roll keeping alive.
Effectivement, il y a énormément de jeunes. Il l'a vu durant la dernière tournée, enfin en Russie en tout cas, et il y avait beaucoup de jeunes et puis qui connaissaient, qui étaient peut-être pas nés forcément au début de Running Wild, et ça l'a vraiment ravi, quoi. Et puis le dernier clip en même temps, il a quand même déchiré quelque chose comme 225 000 vues sur YouTube. C'est vraiment bien. Et puis and the reactions of your fans all over the world have left excellent messages in different languages on YouTube.
Absolutely, so the reactions we had so far are overwhelming. In Germany, pretty much Running Wild the next Monday is becoming, number one on the club scene,
Okay.
How much we were played, but not the heavy metal clubs, but every club. So this is different, And so, there's a lot of things, going, pretty much you can feel it in the air. There's something going on. And everybody in the record company and everybody in the band is really excited. We really can't wait to see what will happen the next week,
Effectivement, tout le monde est excité à l'idée de savoir ce qui va se passer dans quelques jours en tout cas, puisque le nouvel album sortira le 29, Blood on Blood. And Rob, one of your fans on YouTube write this message: finally, the Pirates are back in the best way. I'm sure will take no prisoner this time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
the ship is sailing again, that's for sure, And I really hope that we can play the shows next year, because nobody can tell because of that COVID situation,
Ok, effectivement, il y a un fan qui dit notamment très très heureux, que les pirates sont de retour dans le bon chemin en tout cas, et qu'il est sûr qu'ils feront pas de prisonniers cette fois-ci, quoi. Voilà, le nouvel album Blood on Blood sortira très exactement le 29, soit dans 2 jours. 1 month ago, you released the second single, the Shellback, almost 1,050 views on YouTube. Yeah, this is
fine too. That's great.
Yeah, this track is 6 minutes long. It's a set on story.
Yeah, it's pretty much a different song than Diamonds and Pearls. It's a little bit longer. It's a little bit more epic. It's not the longest song on the album. It's a longer one, which is the Iron Times. But it's pretty much a song that has something to do with the Black Hand Inn story. Because I figured out with this title of Shellback, it could be the guy from Black Hand Inn. So I wrote a song about, as a prequel, so to speak, for the story of Black Hand Inn. What has happened before and why he became a pirate and was going to the sea and what made him a prophet, what made him, to look to in this glass ball and all these kind of things, his crystal ball. And this was very interesting to do that. And in the end, I came around with the idea to put the main melody of Black Hand Inn as an acoustic intro in front of the song, to make sure everybody can see these two songs have something in common with each other.
Alors effectivement, The Shellback, le nouveau single, notamment 150 000 vues sur YouTube, c'est bien, un titre de 6 minutes avec une histoire notamment d'un pirate, donc c'est très beau, allez voir sur YouTube, il est vraiment sympa en tout cas The Shellback. Je rappelle, c'est pas le second, c'est le troisième single. I said The Shellback is not the second single, is the third single, because 1 year ago, the first single was Crossing the Blades, 1 year ago.
Ah, yes, you talked about that? Okay, sorry.
No. I talk about Shellback, but 1 year ago, you out, the real first single was Crossing the Blades.
Yeah, right. Because we knew that it would take it a little longer to finish the record, and that's why we decided to do this four-track EP. And these two bonus tracks on the single were also in the pool of the album.
Okay.
So I took them off and put them on the single, and did this Kiss cover on that, and so to release that, to fill in the gap between the last album and the new one.
Ok, alors effectivement, il y a déjà un an, il y avait déjà un premier single qui était sorti. Au lieu de faire un EP, ils avaient sorti un titre façon un peu comme un bonus, notamment qui s'appelle Crossing the Blades, qui est disponible depuis un an et qui est dans la pure tradition effectivement de Running Wild, quoi. And Rolf, I read somewhere that you recorded the new album with your 76 Gibson Explorer guitar from the album Gates to Purgatory and Brandon and Exiled.
No, it's the exactly same guitar.
Same.
I own now 4 of them, these old guitars. My old guitar is in retirement, but it's the same guitar.
Okay.
And it sounds way better. That's why I'm using it. It's the guitar I'm playing live with. It's my favorite guitar, and it's my guitar number 1.
Effectivement, donc il a effectivement, c'est pas avec celle-là qu'il a enregistré, mais il possède cette guitare, toujours sa Gibson Explorer série 1976. C'est un monument cette guitare, en tout cas, elle a le son, c'est avec celle-là qu'il joue sur scène, quoi. And the track One Night, One Day is very different from the other track on the album. I can already imagine the audience singing together this track for your next world tours.
It's a song we really can't play live because there's so much guitars on that. You really have to bring on a computer with all the other guitars. You can't play that with 2 guitar players. It's not possible. There's a lot of different instruments on there, and it was clear that it's just a song for the record,
Ok, alors effectivement, il y a un super beau titre qui est complètement différent de ce que fait d'habitude Running Wild. C'est très chanté, il y a comme une chorale, et j'avais imaginé que ce titre en concert avec les fans, il y aurait un retour avec les fans. Alors malheureusement, il jouera pas ce titre parce que les parties de guitare sont assez différentes et assez compliquées à jouer sur scène, mais en tout cas, il y a un beau titre donc qui s'appelle One Night and One Day sur ce nouvel album. Donc en direct avec nous ce soir, Rock and Rolf, notamment Running Wild, le nouvel album Blood on Blood qui sortira le 29 octobre prochain. Voici le track listing. L'album démarra avec Blood on Blood, ensuite Wings of Fire, en 3 Says Your Prayer, en 4 Diamonds and Pearls, en 5 Wild and Free, en 6 Crossing the Blades, en 7 One Night One Day, en 8 The Shellback, en 9 Wild Nights et en 10 l'instrumental The Iron Times. Sur 213 Rock on Vinyl Times Classic Rock Radio, le line-up c'est Rock and Wolf, guitare et chant, Peter Jordan on guitare, Ole Hempelmann on bass et Michael Wolpers à la batterie. Ça c'est Running Wild, ça va être beau, ça va être très très beau, quoi. And do you have a good memory, Rolf?
Yeah, pretty much, I think so, yeah.
Do you still remember your shows in Paris on 1989? January 31, 1991.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome to the Port Royal tour.
Yeah, for sure. I know that. It's when you did so much tours and stuff like that. You know what you had done there. But you really can't remember the real parts of the show.
Okay.
It's not possible because you're doing the same thing on and on every night. You know what I mean? So, I played there, but I didn't know what happened there. It's,
okay. 3 dates importantes à Paris. Le 31 juin 1989, Running Wild était à Paris au Gibus. Le 7 février 90, Running Wild était à la salle Marcel Cerdan pour le Death or Glory Tour. Et le 9 juin 1991, Running Wild était à Espace Ornano à Paris pour le Blazon Stone Tour. Voilà. It's been 30 years since you came to play in Paris.
Yeah. We accepted, just like I said before, for festivals which had been pushed over because of of COVID. One was the Hellfest.
Okay.
But we started not to take any more offers, from other festivals or shows and something like that until we know there's COVID and we can't tell if we can play the shows.
Okay.
We really want to wait until the green light is back again and you really know you can do the touring, We don't do any real touring, we just do festivals and event shows and something like that. But we can talk about everything when that COVID situation is getting better,
Alors effectivement, donc effectivement, ça fait quand même 30 ans qu'on n'a pas vu Running Wild à Paris. Il y a déjà eu 3 dates que je vous ai énoncées. C'était les débuts d'époque. Et en même temps, donc, il y a une belle date qui va se profiler l'année prochaine. Ça sera la prochaine question. En tout cas, on va en parler. Et puis en même temps, il y a aussi toute une production derrière. Et puis là, avec tout ce qui s'est passé ces 2 dernières années, effectivement, ça a empêché de venir. Mais c'était prévu qu'ils viennent, notamment à Paris. Mais ça va se faire. Je pense que ça va se faire. And on the 2018, you played in Wacken. It was a huge show.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the last show so far because of that COVID situation. It was the planning was different,
Ouais, effectivement, en 2018, ils ont joué un show au Wacken, c'était énorme. And the next year, you will play at the Hellfest with Judas Priest in front, 60,000 people, 60,000 metal maniac in a Clisson, in France, at the Hellfest. I guess it will be the consecration in France for Running Wild.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest festival we now played so far was Wacken all the time because when we played there's a lot of more people than are normally there, So 2009 it was about 150,000, something like that.
Ok, alors effectivement, l'année prochaine au Hellfest, ça sera le 19 juin. Il y aura Running Wild juste avant Judas Priest notamment sur la main stage 2 je crois et ça sera énorme ça sera énorme devant 60 000 fans au Hellfest. Donc la tête d'affiche Judas Priest juste avant Running Wild, ça va être énorme, ça va être vraiment énorme. So Rolf, thank you very much for this live interview tonight. It was a great pleasure. Do you have a message for the audience tonight, plus your fan club from Greece, your fan club for different European countries, or maybe some from South of America? They are listening to us at this moment.
Yeah, I really hope so that all the fans really like the album the same way that I do. And on the other hand, I'm really looking forward to play the shows we planned to do, 2 years ago. And I really hope that we can, see each other face to face at a festival again.
Okay. Thank you very much, Rolf. Thank you very much for your time. And can't wait to see you next year at the Hellfest for the biggest show you never did in France. Yeah. Okay, absolutely. Tout de suite, en musique, sur 213 Rock on Vinylestimes Classic Rock Radio, le nouveau single The Shellback. Je rappelle, l'album sortira dans 2 jours. Il s'appellera Blood on Blood. 213 Rock. years, la web rock station on Vinyl Times Classic Rock Radio. Rock and Rolf était en direct avec nous sur 213 Rock on Vinyl Times Classic Rock Radio. Running Wild, Blood on Blood, le nouvel album dans 2 jours, le 29 qui sort. Continuons en musique avec Unleashed, Where Can You Flee, l'album No Sign of Life dans quelques jours. 213 Rock.